are moments in motorsport when silence speaks louder than speed, when a team's absence echoes across circuits and fans wonder, will they ever return? For Suzuki, that silence stretched for years. But when they came back, they didn't just rejoin MotoGP, they reignited a legacy, proving that passion can resurrect even the quietest dreams. Suzuki's story in MotoGP is one of grit, innovation, and unshakable belief. From the early days of racing to the triumphs that defined entire eras, Suzuki built more than motorcycles. They built legends. In the 1970s, Barry Sheen's fearless riding made Suzuki a household name. His charisma and speed inspired generations. Then came Kevin Schwantz in the 1990s. Brave, relentless, and unstoppable. His iconic number 34 on the Suzuki brought fire to every race and cemented the brand's name in MotoGP history. But like all great journeys, Suzuki's path wasn't without storms. By 2011, rising costs, technical challenges, and corporate realities forced them to step away from the sport they loved. The blue and white bikes that once lit up racetracks vanished. Fans felt the loss deeply. For many, it seemed like the end of an era, a chapter closed forever. Yet deep inside Suzuki's headquarters in Hamamatsu, Japan, a different story was unfolding. Engineers, designers, and dreamers refused to let the flame die. They believed Suzuki's racing spirit was only resting, not gone. In quiet workshops, they began to build the future, a completely new MotoGP machine designed from scratch. These were the hidden years. No crowds, no trophies, only the hum of machines and the determination of minds. They designed a new inline-four engine that balanced power with agility. They shaped a chassis that could carve corners with precision. They developed electronics capable of competing with the most advanced teams in the world. It wasn't easy. Every breakthrough came with a setback, every success with sleepless nights. But the vision stayed clear, to bring Suzuki back where it belonged, the MotoGP grid. Then came 2015, the year the Blue Lightning struck again. The Suzuki GSX-RR made its debut, and the world watched with curiosity and excitement. It wasn't the fastest bike, but it carried something greater: hope. The first races were tough. The team faced stronger, more experienced rivals. But with every race, Suzuki learned, improved, and evolved. Their progress was steady, their resolve unbreakable. Within a few seasons, Suzuki had turned from underdog to contender. Young, talented riders joined the mission. Maverick Viñales brought energy and aggression, securing the first modern win for Suzuki in 2016 at Silverstone. Then came Alex Rins, fearless and sharp, followed by Joan Mir, calm and consistent, a rider who mirrored Suzuki's soul, patient, smart, and quietly determined. By 2020, everything came together. In one of the most unpredictable MotoGP seasons in history, Joan Mir rose above chaos and competition to claim Suzuki's first Premier Class World title in 2 decades. It was a story straight out of a movie. A team once written off had climbed to the top again. The world watched in awe as Suzuki, against all odds, became world champions. Their triumph wasn't built on power alone. It was built on teamwork, humility, and a relentless desire to improve. Unlike the corporate giants around them, Suzuki's MotoGP squad was small, a close-knit family where every mechanic, every engineer, every rider mattered. That unity became their secret weapon. But success in MotoGP is fleeting. The same world that celebrated Suzuki's victory soon demanded more. Racing, after all, never stops evolving. And in 2022, just 2 years after reaching the summit, Suzuki once again shocked the racing community. The company announced its decision to withdraw from MotoGP, citing changing global priorities and economic challenges. For fans, it felt like heartbreak all over again. The blue bikes that had fought so bravely would once more disappear from the grid. But this time, it was different. Suzuki wasn't leaving in defeat. They were leaving as champions. They had fulfilled their mission, proven their worth, and reminded the world what true resilience looks like. Their second exit wasn't the end of a dream, but a reminder that legacies don't live only on the track. They live in the hearts of fans, in the sound of engines, in every rider inspired by their story. Suzuki had done something rare in sport. They came back from silence and left as heroes. When you see a Suzuki GSX-RR today, whether in photos, showrooms, or memories, you're not just looking at a motorcycle. You're seeing years of innovation, countless challenges, and unshakable spirit. Every bolt, every curve, every roar of that engine carries the heartbeat of a team that refused to surrender. Suzuki's MotoGP journey is a masterclass in belief. Belief that patience pays off, that hard work speaks louder than words, and that greatness isn't measured only in the number of seasons you race, but in the impact you leave behind. Even in their absence, Suzuki's influence continues. Their development work pushed competitors to innovate. Their engineering philosophies shaped how modern bikes are built. Their victory in 2020 remains one of MotoGP's purest success stories, proof that you don't need the biggest budget or the flashiest names to win. Only the strongest will. MotoGP fans still talk about the grace of Joan Mir's championship ride, the precision of Alex Rins's victories, and the unity of a team that seemed more like a family than a corporation. That spirit, the Suzuki way, became a symbol of what's possible when passion drives performance. So even though the paddock no longer glows with Suzuki blue, their spirit continues to race through every corner of MotoGP. The echoes of their engines may have faded, but their story still inspires, reminding us all that greatness isn't about never falling. It's about rising stronger every time you do. Because in the end, MotoGP is not just about machines or medals. It's about the human stories behind the helmets. It's about teams that dare to dream, engineers who chase perfection, and brands that leave a mark far deeper than the racetrack. Suzuki's return and their eventual farewell are proof that true legends never fade. They evolve, they inspire, and they remind the world that sometimes the most powerful comeback is not about lasting forever, but about leaving behind something unforgettable.